Hello, this is Top Preps Player Interviews by Sunil Sundaraj. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Carter Daniels, a junior at Mountain Vista High School in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and inside linebacker on the varsity football team. Once again, Carter, thank you so much for taking time out to speak with me today, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here.
No problem. Before we came on the air, it said you're the first player since Top Preps hit 100,000 followers, and it's just an incredible feeling being able to interview. I said the first athlete that since we reached that milestone achievement. Could you talk about playing? Said on the varsity football team. Said there at Mountain Vista High School here in your junior season. The team is 3-1 and having another, I said, outstanding season so far here early on here, Carter.
Yeah, no, it's just been a lot of fun so far. Struggled the first game; it was low scoring game, but after that, we start like it was a week zero game, so we're slowly picking everything up, and we're in mid season form, which halfway through the season right now. So we're really excited to keep on going. We got our homecoming game this week against one of the top 10 teams in the state, I would say, and then we got a bye week after that. So we got some time left in the season. We're really excited still.
That's great to hear. I said, uh, I said the stats are in for the last game, but so far I said here, 11 tackles you're registering per game, 33 total tackles. So obviously, again, being able to put up those, I said, numbers, said every year, I said week. Could you talk about playing that inside linebacker position? And obviously, you've definitely been able to excel at that position here the first couple of years on the varsity football team.
Yeah, no, definitely. I have a lot of help from my defensive linemen. Defensive linemen do a lot of their jobs correctly, getting hands on guards and letting me run free and read free. The way our
Mhm.
defense is meant for my success, which I appreciate the coaches doing that for. But I've been working since I was 6 years old to be able to play the way I'm playing now, and my team
Mhm.
is doing a lot with that.
Yeah, it's fantastic to hear. And I'm just wondering, coming into your junior year, and you came off again just a phenomenal said 2022 season. Team went 7-4, 176 total tackles, 126 solo, 16 tackles per game, and 6 sacks. So I'm wondering, building off that success of last year, Carter, coming into your junior year, I'm just in terms of just getting yourself prepared, both mentally and physically for that grind. But again, said be able to meet those challenges as well.
Yeah. So my end of the sophomore year, I weighed 155 pounds playing at the
Okay.
varsity. And so physically preparing for that, I put on 35 pounds of muscle, walking around 190, and like just being able to eat the right stuff, gain the right muscle, so I'm able to compete at that level that I'm supposed to
Mhm.
be at, but just gives me all this other advantages. As in, I'm not going to get tossed around as easy, and I'll be able to make plays even faster now. And then
Yeah.
mentally, it's just a lot of the same stuff in the previous years, watching film, studying film, watching film from last year, and I spent my
Mhm.
whole off season training. So it was just it became a lifestyle during the off season, more of a requirement.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely 24/7, 365 routine, with that regimen up. Hey, I'm wondering, your freshman year, it said 106 tackles. The team was under 500, but I'm wondering that first year, your freshman year, what you learned, especially, from the upperclassmen and just going through that process of every week. And then even beforehand with, training camp and, getting ready for the season in the summertime, from where you were at that point and juncture, just now here to your junior year, how far you've been able to move up that ladder, Carter?
I've been able to move up a lot. Coming into this, I coming into freshman year, I broke my hand, so I
Okay.
didn't play varsity, but my hand healed just in
Okay.
time for week zero or week one game, and I ended up playing. Started my very first play ever. I remember it was a blitz we have called Crossfire, where
Okay.
I both linebackers are blitzing. We're crossing over. The other linebacker went first, pulled the center, and I came around the edge and I got a safety, or it was almost a safety on my very first varsity play ever. So like that play will ever forever, like I will for always remember. But like
Yeah.
at that point, I have gained 60 pounds. I have became a lot faster, and I've just understand the game more. The coaches have really like helped me sit me down and done individual film studies with me and like talked me through everything more. So I'm playing my role 10 times better than I was freshman year. And it's just so much more fun being able to be bigger and faster than being the smallest kid.
Yeah, it's wonderful to hear. Yeah, let's talk about that. There's so many components that go into in terms of that strength and conditioning, nutrition, rest and recovery. Because I mean, again, you put so much effort and time, and I can see you're a true student of the game in terms of watching film and really being meticulous, just being again getting I said ready and set to go in terms of a game. But again, that there's I even talked to coaches about it. They say the planning for a game week, that's more stressful than I think the game itself, because everything just flows naturally during a game. So just talk about that, because just in terms of for you personally, it said you talked about putting on said the extra weight and the muscle as well, but keeping your body in optimal shape pretty much year round.
Yeah, so like coming into the games, like Monday after the weekend, going back into school, got all my classes, and then I get seventh period, which is our football weight and strength conditioning class.
Hmm.
We'll do reviews on Mondays, and so we will all sit the starters on varsity and the top two groups go in and sit there, and we just start digesting film all together as a team, talking about our opponent for this next week. And as we're doing that, there's no nerves up until about 2 days before the game for me.
Hmm.
So I get there and I'm like, wow, I actually have a game. Like I gotta play. Like I just because all week at practice, all we do is prepare. We run multiple hours worth of defensive reps, so we're able and we know that we have everything set in our minds the way that it should be. But then you get
Hmm.
to that midway through the week point where you're like, wow, this is like really about to happen again. Like I can't wait. Like they're not nerves, they're excitement
Yeah.
nerves. And I truly feel if you're not excited, you're not prepared. So it's like if you're not a little bit nervous, you're not prepared. That like I always get nervous that I prepared for the wrong thing. Like I
Hmm.
prepared that they're gonna come out and what we studied isn't what they do. But that's just like it's thought in the back of my mind that always goes away once game time comes. As soon
Yeah.
as I step on the field for kickoff and I go down and hit somebody, the nerves go away and I'm back into just playing the game that I love. So it's like
Yeah.
just keeping the body healthy throughout the week, going to see the trainer whenever I got those little bumps and bruises, make sure that they get worked out, make sure all
Hmm.
my burns are cleaned up, get all that stuff covered so I can really focus on what I need to win the game.
That's great. Okay, let's talk about game day. I said just what is I mean, of course you go to school, and then after that you have to get yourself I said prepared for the task at hand. But what is it, putting those pads on, the Golden Eagles number 0 jersey, that helmet. Just wondering what that represents to you personally, Carter.
It represents a family. So this
Hmm.
team I'm playing with, we've been playing together since we were in the sixth grade. Like I
Okay.
think our sixth grade football team had 22 kids on it. 10 or 20 of those 22 kids all came to Mountain Vista High School and we're all playing together still.
Mhm.
That eighth grade year, so throughout middle school up to eighth grade, we were a second ranked national team in the nation. And we were all like, let's go to high school together, let's go play together. So it's like ever since then, it's just became a family. And it's the only thing like it's like a second family essentially, where we go in
Yeah.
and we just fight for each other and we want each other to succeed. So that's what it means to me.
Yeah. Hey, once you're in the locker room, and said, and you get that pregame speech from the coach, head coach, and the rest of the coaching staff, running down, said to the field, and again, there's nothing better than I think, I said Friday night lights or Saturday afternoon during the fall. So I'm wondering for you, like when you, I said to, with the rest of your, teammates, your brothers in arms, as you take that field, what is that moment for you? What's that adrenaline rush? You have the fans, the student section, the administration, athletics, community there. Just talk about it, especially those home games at Mountain Vista High School.
It's definitely a lot of fun. I mean, just it means so much to be able to represent the school and what we're trying to build as a program, trying to build the football team up, and it's just like the adrenaline just rushes straight to my head,
Yeah.
and everything else blurs out. I don't hear the
Yeah,
crowd when I run out. I don't hear anything else except for what's going on inside my
yeah,
own head. At that time, what's going on inside my own head is just rerunning through all the plays that we've seen during practice, all the plays that I saw on film, and all my keys. It's just watching as my head it goes from my triangle read as a linebacker, watching the guards pull, fitting over down blocks and stuff like that. Just all the stuff that I've needed to know,
yeah,
replaying in my head like a flashback right before the
yeah.
game.
I'm glad you brought that point up because I'm always interested from that unique perspective, and especially you get a bird's eye view playing that inside linebacker position. Uh, as you said, you can see what the offensive line, what the quarterback is doing, wide receivers. So you get, I mean, again, take people behind the scenes. That is really something that again people don't truly understand in playing. Said that position on defense. What again during the once the ball is snapped and then your eyes just open up and it just you can really see you know where you have to go after the ball. I'm just wondering, you probably explained it, but just I mean how great of a feeling is that just to be able to have that vantage point.
It's such a great feeling. I mean, being able to understand what means what on the field, like being able to
Mm,
understand what the pulling guards mean, what down blocks mean, and little keys like even before the play, like the little things that I'm looking for, like the hand pressure, how much weight they're putting on their hands, their stance, eye
mhm.
gaze, linemen, eye gaze from running backs, and then just literally like you can hear sometimes even in the tone of voice of players talking, like communicating what it's going to
Yeah.
be. So it's just picking up on all those little things throughout my years playing football helps so much being able to be at the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just those subtle nuances that really make the difference in terms of making as said a tackle and just again being able to contribute to your team, Carter.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
Eh,
it's so much it's so nice.
yeah, and then of course you go in halftime, make those certain adjustments as teams do, and players as well. Come back out into the field and then be able to apply that said in the second half. Hey, on the flip side, we talk you talk about the home games, but how about the road games? The bus trips. I said and be able to go into opposing schools field and territory. Again, describe what that those moments are because a lot of people don't get to see those.
Yeah. So um our stadium and districts, so our school districts don't provide buses for us, so we have to drive
Okay.
ourselves. So the
Oh, I
game.
see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I either take one of my best friends, his name's Austin Shike, he's a safety,
Okay.
drive to the games together, or we'll drive on our own. It depends really on how far the away games are.
Yeah.
But it's just like playing the music in the car, it's just really zoning in. It's like a different type of feeling.
Yeah.
It's like the pregame to the pregame. You have to get yourself focused and ready before you get even more focused and ready. You can't just be sitting there talking like ranting about random stuff. You have to really be locked in and understanding what you're about to walk into, and you're about to see like who the man you really are when you step up against another team at their home stadium.
Yeah. No, very true. I said you make all the valid points there. Hey, I wanted to switch it up. As you said, it's not just being an athlete; it's being a student athlete, and it requires quite a bit of commitment and dedication. To the craft. I said time management and organization. I'm wondering for you personally, Carter. What that entails because so much between as you said watching film practices lifts game day itself there's so much that is incorporated but what has worked for you what have just in terms of striking that balance I said between academics and athletics.
Yeah, so what I've found to be best is just really do everything as much as you can in school, like as much as I can.
Hmm.
If the teacher hands out homework, I'm gonna do the homework in class as she's explaining how to do the thing, so I can work on it, like understand it, do the notes and the homework at the same time, so I can relate problems back to each other. And it's
Hmm.
just that way. Once I'm done with school, it's football mode for the rest of the
Yeah.
night. Football
Yeah.
mode till I get home, shower, sleep, and eat. And then if I got a test or something the day before or like the next day, then it goes back into school mode. So it's like
Yeah.
school, football, study, and sleep. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of routine I've had for the past 5, 6 years.
Yeah, I think it's so vital just to have that uh structure, that regimen in place, that you can follow, that blueprint every time out. You talked about the support from the Mountain Vista High School. I'm wondering from the student body, the administration, the athletic department, how essential that has been for the varsity football team and for you, these first couple of years.
It's been pretty good. It's like they're always very supportive of the football players and understanding, which I really appreciate. I mean, there's been times where we've had to drive all the way up to Fort Collins on a Thursday night and come back down and go to school the next morning. So the
Hmm.
teachers are more understanding. They're like, "Hey, we understand," and the whole community, like I said, is just very well. Administration understands. They're
Yeah.
just people all around.
That's great. That's great to hear. As you need a strong support system. So I wanted to ask you about your family, just what they've meant to you along this journey, especially in the game of football, but as well at Mountain Vista High School here at Carter.
Yeah, so for the first year, it was quite a drive. So my parents had to make a tribute to get to the high school. Then we
Hmm.
moved. My dad has helped out a lot with supplying me with the right gear and all that stuff. And my mom always gets me the right food. And they've always been supportive, both of them, coming to every single one of my games. I think my dad's only ever missed one high school football game of mine, and it's because he was out of
Okay.
town. My mom's only missed one too, and so it's like they both understand how important it is to me, and it's just as important to them.
Yeah, it's wonderful news to hear. And you mentioned before, Carter, you've been playing football for so long, I think since you were six. I wondering what are some of the intangibles that stand out about the sport that makes it so special to play? That, just whether it's the practices or it's, the games itself per se, that you keep on coming back year after year. And, obviously, you're passionate about this sport and, you want to be the best at it. So I'm just wondering what really for you are some of the keys in that really,
It's
make it
just
so impactful.
yeah, that it's just like the very first time I ever put pads on. My dad's got a picture of this. It's
Yeah.
me. Like I was 6 years old. I've got my big helmet on, one of the Rydell helmets, big
Yeah.
on, and I tell my dad it's the most important day of my life.
Yeah.
I ever since my very first practice, I've always had a love for the football game. It's just been
Mhm.
something I've always loved and appreciated. Like there's never been a day where I'm like, man, I don't want to go to practice. Like I always practice is the best part of my day. And
Yeah.
it's like I look forward to practices on Mondays. I look forward to those early morning lifts. It's just that type of motivation has
Mhm.
been key. And I mean, I had gotten sick before to the point where it's like I felt like I personally like I could not go to football, but it's like I still wanted to go to football in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's like always just a go-to thing for me. It's routine. I like routine, and I like the routine I'm in. I love
Yeah.
football. It's been that way forever.
Yeah. Obviously, displayed that, perseverance, as said so well. As you know, we live in a day and age of social media, and I think for you guys, it's right the best times, be able to tap into that, in terms of dropping your highlight videos. I'm wondering, of course, Huddle is out there, and then we have X, formerly known as Twitter and Instagram. So I'm wondering, being able to, again, build off that, just in terms of having, to, reach, said people across this country and the world and showcase your talents. I mean, how cool has that been for you, Carter? Just being able to again connect with so many people and uh, have that platform.
It's been super cool having the social media networks has made recruiting a lot easier. Like I've been able to reach out to college coaches, people like from different states have been sharing my stuff. You make new friendships with people all over the US just based off of who you like, how you promote yourself. And
Hmm.
it's like you just got to promote yourself as the real you. And then that way people understand like, hey, this is actually how the dude acts. He's a cool guy. And then
Yeah.
that I've been to a couple different camps a
Okay.
couple years, met some people there, got their phone numbers, got their social medias. When they came out to Denver, we did workouts together. And if I've ever been out there, like I went to Washington and worked out with this one dude out there one time. So it was like just building the
Hmm.
friendships is good.
Yeah, that's wonderful news to hear. That's really special. So I'm wondering, you have so much, pressure with academics, athletics, football. So you need to kick back. So I'm wondering what you do in your free time, just or when you have that, you have that little, space of time. What, just to be able to clear your head here, Carter.
Surprisingly, I go play Madden. I either go
Okay.
Madden, I hang out with my girlfriend, or I'll go to the gym. Those are like
Okay.
the three things I do anymore: is Madden, gym,
Yeah.
and
That's awesome to hear. That's great. Hey, I have to ask you, obviously, college football, NFL. We've seen, of course, primetime Deion Sanders, Colorado Buffaloes, all to 2-0 start. Any particular, whether it's college or, maybe, NFL, especially, uh, linebackers that you try to, it said really zero in on and try to maybe pick up some of their
so
tendencies, said in terms of playing the game of football.
yeah, Ray Lewis was the one for me. Ray
Hmm.
Lewis, still to this day, my favorite
Yeah.
player of all time. He's the player. He's the reason I played linebacker. I've wanted to play like him, hit like him. I mean, before every single game, I still watch this motivational video that he's put out. It's part of the routine. I watch it before every single game as I'm driving to the game. So it's like it's just Ray Lewis has been my guy.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, he's definitely, I think, the GOAT. I mean, he's, said represented, not only his team, his community, but that and played the position. Just he absolutely dominated at that position for so many years for the Baltimore Ravens. Hey, before you get the final word and message here, Carter, I think you're in a great spot because you understand again how much pressure there is, how much competition in terms of football is and sports, and for those younger kids and athletes out there as they're trying to navigate, said, I mean, it's again, there's so many people vying for that spot, that same spot that they're trying to again compete at. What would you say to them as they're trying to figure out, like, look, am I good at this sport, especially the game of football? And what would you say to him? Because obviously you were there at one point, and probably learning from others as well.
I would tell them to not worry about the hype. The hype is the thing that kills everybody. Everybody posting like these visits that they go on, and if they got like 40 different visits, and these little kids, like eighth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade kids, are trying to be like them. I just like they just have to understand their time will come, and it's not going to be the same for everybody. Some people are gifted with size, and some people are gifted with speed and other things. And if no matter what, as long as you work harder than everybody else around you, you will get noticed and you will be seen. So they just got to really focus on their craft, perfecting what they do, and focusing on building themselves up, building their brand, and building them to the point where they can succeed.
Yeah, and I said sound advice. Hey, you get the final word and message here, Carter, for family, friends, teammates, coaches, Mountain Vista High School, and the community of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Wanted to give you, as the final, well deserved here, Carter.
There's just thank you for everything that they've done for me, and I'm really appreciative of having this opportunity, and thank you for letting me come on to this and talk to you. I really appreciate that.
No, I said a true honor and privilege being able to speak with you, Carter, and wishing you all the best as you said here, continuing your junior year. Said Mountain Vista High School, and especially playing inside linebacker on the varsity football team, and still after this, see another year left.
Exactly. I'm excited for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.